Good morning, everybody. Good early morning. As of right now, the time is 2:50 in the morning, and you are watching will be the 642nd launch of SpaceX from pad 37A or 39A at Cape Canaveral on the Florida coast in Central Florida. This is a special mission, however. It is called NROL-95. NRO is the National Reconnaissance Office, hence NRO. L means launch, and it launches, as you can see, in 19 minutes and 35 seconds. So let's talk about this, because this flight is classified. It contains a top secret payroll. In other words, no one except a handful of people, depending on how you identify a handful of people, know what is in this thing that's supposed to go up. Nobody has any idea. Some clue may be gained from the title of the organization itself, the National Reconnaissance Office, and what its website here says it's supposed to do, above and beyond. And then it reads right here, as we zoom in, it says the National Reconnaissance Office makes the world a better place, a better, safer, stronger place, and ensures America remains the undisputed leader in space. More on the mission. So we go and click here, right? This gives us more on the mission. Okay? So we click again. It's supposed to give us more on the mission. Oh, scroll down. So we press this to scroll down, and it doesn't. Oh, we see the perspective. We see from the perspective of stars. National Reconnaissance Office systems address the nation's toughest intelligence challenges, providing information and perspectives unavailable from other sources. Millions of people depend on vital intelligence that National Reconnaissance Office capabilities deliver every day. All right?
Think of all the places that could expose you to identity theft. If something happens, LifeLock provides...
Okay, so at any rate, it has something to do with the charge of the National Recovery Office. You can launch your career at this website, which is, just nro.gov, okay? And you can see these are satellites, and there is a different angle of the space launch Starship system. I don't know why they chose to go quadruple screen, but they did. So this is odd. Odd because it's a public flight. Odd because it's classified. Again, yeah, no one knows what is aboard this vessel. No one knows what is going up except a handful of people. And yet it's occurring. Well, is it possible to have a secret launch? I bring that question to you, the viewer. Is it possible to have a secret launch in public? Well, they're doing it. They're doing it. And they're saying that what they're doing has to do with issues of security and reconnaissance. So they're going to send something up in space, and since it has to do with reconnaissance, it means that whatever it is going to look down on something regarding Earth activity. What it is, will we ever find out? I don't know. Right now, we're just waiting to see. We hope that it lifts off safely without incident. But this secretive organization has been around for some time, out of the public eye. And again, it says we see from the perspective of stars, which means they put satellites in, and they have these videos of satellites going around the Earth for various reconnaissance-related reasons. And the website itself is rather clunky because it has a lot of material on it, a lot of content. They call themselves the world leader in space, folks. The world leader in space. It says National Recovery Office develops, acquires, launches, and operates space-based assets and ground systems to see, hear, and sense threats around the world in real time. So maybe this has something to do with the ongoing war in Iran. Wouldn't surprise me. Perhaps it has something to do with the matter in the Ukraine. Perhaps both, or something else entirely. But it would seem to point to the issue of war. The issue of war. Another part of the website reads this: in building the most advanced intelligence vehicles, working with academic, government, and commercial partners, deploying our nation's intelligence vehicles into space, ensuring our intelligence collection is the best in the world. Building the most advanced intelligence vehicles. I already read it, said that, right? Then it says, NRO partners enhance and enable our intelligence collection. NRO launches assets into orbit from locations around the world using multiple space vehicles. Our government's military and civilian workhorse is something that's going by too fast for me to read efficiently. And so if I scroll down, let's see if I get anything more. I do. Above and beyond. NRO's motto is supra et ultra, meaning above and beyond. That's Latin for above and beyond. It reflects our mission to use our exquisite capabilities to secure and expand U.S. intelligence, to see, hear, and sense all around us, all in alignment with our values of operating with personal integrity and accountability, mission excellence, and teamwork. Yeah. So we've got 2:58, folks, is approximately 12 minutes to launch. Again, there's no announcer for this, so I'm being an announcer. And I'm going to shift over to the screen. It's 4 screens here, right? There. And zoom in. Because now we're getting to the crucial window where at some point within the next 10 minutes, we're going to have a launch, folks. We're going to have a launch of a top secret vessel, space vessel from Starship Tower. Its booster is designed such that 8 minutes and 5 seconds. Oh, excuse me for a second. Let me
choose from thousands of realistic voices to use in your content.
Skip that. All right, that's skipped. Sorry, folks. Commercial comes on, and I have to zap it out. But at any rate, as I was saying, 8 minutes and 50 seconds after launch, the SpaceX booster will fall away, and it will conduct a controlled landing at a special pad 9 miles down the coast. If you're looking at this and you're confused as to what is what, the top of the vessel is the yellow panel in the upper left. The one below it is a view from a long way away. That little light in the distance is where the pad is. The one over here just got away from me. They shifted the camera. I don't know why they did that. And I don't quite, oh, you know where that is, folks? That's the landing pad. That is the landing pad for the booster. The one on the right. Uh-huh.
When is it leaving?
It's leaving at 3:10. And right now it's 3 o'clock. Yeah. So in roughly 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes, we'll have liftoff. Again, of what they're sending up, few know.
I'm checking.
And not only that, this has to do with war because this is the Space Air Force that Donald Trump created a few years ago, or at least it's the activities here related to it, and the National Reconnaissance Office focuses on military operations in space. And this, folks, is a military operation in space for reasons of reconnaissance, observance, and security. That's what's going on here. So, above and beyond is the motto. And the person who is the director is William B. Atkins. He's the acting director. Major General Chris Povak is the deputy director. It's the leadership. Commander Sergeant Steve Ha is the senior enlisted leader. And it claims here in the panel, we make intelligence possible. 31% of NRO-DOD personnel are civilian, 34% are U.S. government civilians, and 35% are military. They say the National Reconnaissance Office succeeds because of the skills and dedication of our talented workforce, and that's where they come from. Their mission partners, they say their mission partners work across intelligence and organizations, the Department of Defense, and with foreign partners to keep America and our allies aware, informed, and safe. Our locations, they are vast. Buckley Space Force Base, they used to call them Air Force, and they call them Space Force Base in Colorado. Schneider Space Force Base in Colorado, Fort Belvoir in Virginia, Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, Cape Canaveral, you're looking at now, Los Angeles, White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. And we have another one, the Joint Defense Facility Pine Gap in Australia. And finally, the Royal Air Force Menwith Hill in the United Kingdom. This is the map right here. That's the map. So we are at 3:03. 7 minutes to launch, folks. 7 minutes to launch. 3:04. 6 minutes and counting to launch. The launch is actually supposed to occur at 3:09 a.m. So it's 5 minutes and 20 seconds to launch. Let's see if there's anything else that can be learned here. The history of the NRO is a story of, it reads here, opportunity, necessity, and determination converged to produce an intelligence organization unlike any that has ever come before.
With Next Insurance, it's super easy to manage my policies. It's updates instantly.
Having
Sorry about that, folks. Now we are at 305. So 305. Let's see if I can. That's better. Let's see, get a little bit closer in there. There we go. Yeah. Eisenhower started this, according to this photograph, looking at this declassified history. So they have missions. They have a number of missions coming up. I think they have 76 missions scheduled for this year alone. Yep, 76. This says soar higher with NRO. This is our current one. Let's click on it, see if anything happens. It does. NROL-95. Let me push this up here so you don't miss anything while I'm talking to you. It reads, the National Reconnaissance Office, in partnership with the United Space Force Space Systems Command, System Delta 80, Space Launch Delta 45, and SpaceX is scheduled to launch the NROL-95 mission on July 30th, 2026 from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral. It is now 3:07 a.m. 2 minutes, folks. 2 minutes. About the mission and the emblem. The mission. This is the mission emblem. Okay? Kind of like a dog. A ferret is what it is. It's a ferret. The mission emblem is a ferret. The launch vehicles, the Falcon, the famous Falcon 9. The fairing is made of a carbon composite material. The fairing protects the satellites on their way to orbit. The fairing is jettisoned approximately 3 minutes into flight. And SpaceX continues to recover fairings for reuse and future missions. And they have this first, these are the stages. It's the payload fairing. Second stage. This is unmanned, by the way. This is unmanned. It's 3:08. So we don't have a countdown, so we're going to have to assume that this is less than a minute. So when it gets to 3:08:50, I will count down. Since we don't have anybody, well, counting down. We're at 3:08:27, 3:08:30. This is supposed to go off at 3:09 a.m. exactly. It's 3:08:40, 3:08:43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's 3:09:01 a.m. Nothing has happened. Do we have an abort? I do not know. But it would appear that since nothing is happening just yet, either we have an abort or it's actually at 3:10, as it was listed someplace else. But this below says 3:09 a.m. So either the timing is off or the mission has been aborted. We will find out very soon when we get to the 3:10 mark. Right now it is 3:09:34, 3:09:38, 3:09:40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, the 9 and 310, the original mark. And there's no launch. So folks, it may very well be we have an abort. And I will have to consult Twitter to find out if that's the case. Either we have an abort or delay. Because, oh, here we go. Here's the launch. There it goes, folks. There it goes in the air. We have a launch at 3:10:29. It's lifted off into the air, into the bright sun. There we have it. Launch of NROL-95 SpaceX, carrying a top secret payload into the air successfully.
I literally woke up to hundreds of dollars in Amazon sales and I haven't even replied to a single DM.
This is what happened. I posted the discs.
Okay, sorry about that. There it is into the sky. You can hear it. 53 seconds, 54 seconds, T plus 57 seconds, and about 3 minutes into the flight we're at 102, the fairings will drop off and fall into the water for recovery. There he goes. There's one of the, that's not a fairing, I don't know what that is, or maybe just it's something that's fallen off there, folks, in the screen over there. I don't know what that is. Oh, wait a minute, that's the rocket itself. See that? Oh, is it coming down? Looks like it's coming down. Does that it's crashing? Where is it going, folks? Is it crashing or is it headed? Where is it going? Where is that going? Or is that one of the fairings that fell off? What is that? Wow, we're going to have to just simply watch and find out. There's a red plume, a blue plume, and then it seems to have fizzed out. Is that what happened? Do we have an abort? Did it simply go off direction? Twitter time, folks. We have to find out what happened here. Let's see. What happened here? What happened here? Let's see here. We'll find out soon enough. Hold on, folks. Hopefully this isn't a tragedy and it's just, well, something's happened. Huh. I'm going to Twitter now to see what happened here. Waiting for that to open. And so, let's see here. SpaceX is hosting the mission over here. Perhaps we can pick up what's going on with them. And so,
lots that are in places where people want to live. It's all of the aspects of housing are more difficult, and you know, where we're going to get the supply. And this is not something that the Fed can really fix. But I think as we normalize rates, you'll see the housing market normalize. And I mean,
looking to get here, so I'm going to have to try something else. And let's see here.
The age limit for reverse smoking is 90 years old.
Let me see what's going on here, folks, because I can't tell if this is crashed or not. I hope not. Okay, 53 minutes. What happened? I had stage separation 23 seconds ago. All right. So no, it clearly did not crash. It's in space here. I don't understand why we're treated to this view, but we are. We'll call it a treat. So another incredible milestone for space exploration. This is called wishing Falcon 9 and the NROL-95 mission a safe and successful journey. Yep, it's definitely off the pad. I just didn't know where it was going. Here's a better shot of it right here, folks. We didn't get the best shot. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Let me get rid of this. Sorry about that, folks. Wondering if I can get a, hold on a second. I'm gonna see if I can get a better shot. No, I'm not. Wait a minute. I better stay here. Hold on a second. I'm looking at what's going on in the lower right panel. Okay. This is up. See that? This is the... Let's see if I can find a better screen. Hold on, folks. I am not getting the right... I'm not getting a good screen here. Let me clear this. Then let me go here and type in R O L. There. Okay. Falcon 9 live. This is the NASA space light. That's what I want there. Sorry about that, folks. That's not the, it's gonna get skipped in soon. Okay, we skipped it, all right?
In the field, and that landing is confirmed. At this point in time, stage 2 is completing its burn. However, we do not have any onboard views or telemetry aboard this flight, considering that this is a classified mission for the National Reconnaissance Office, and therefore we do not have that information. But those payloads will eventually be cataloged. But we do have some people who were out in the field and experienced this launch. Sir, you were relatively close to this. How are the sonic booms and how was this launch?
The launch was spectacular. I mean, the sound was beautiful tonight, which normally with, this few of clouds, even though there's some and not as much humidity, it doesn't linger as much. This one kind of did. And then, the sonic booms, needless to say, that part of my camera went out of focus the exact moment of the booms, just from the shock of it. I've seen this dozens of times, and yet I still jump every time. But always a treat to see the sky light up like that, especially at night.
Yeah, no, it looks like you guys had some great views all the way through the entire portion of the flight. Looked like it was pretty crystal clear there. Crystal clear morning. Max,
We had some clouds. There was definitely some clouds, made it a little harder to see the Falcon Nebula, but still, hey, we got a gorgeous launch and landing.
Max, you are on Kennedy's side. How was this launch for you?
Well, one of the advantages of being here, at Kennedy is for launch, we get the VAB squeal, which is where the sound waves from Falcon make the exterior panels on the VAB like rattle and shudder at such a frequency that it sounds like it's squealing to us. Same with actually the sonic booms going back to LZ40 and LZ1 and 2, I guess now just 2. Tonight we heard a bit of a different noise. So we heard obviously the twin sonic booms, or technically triple sonic booms, but it sounds more like 2. And we heard it like echo off the VAB first before we heard like the pew pew from the actual panel. So it was like it almost sounded like the VAB blew up. I have no idea how else to describe it, honestly. It was very kind of off-putting, but also kind of awesome because I've never heard that before. But my word, that was absolutely beautiful. A wonderful nebula, and we had the entry burn from here perfectly as well, and a bit of the landing burn before it went behind the trees, unfortunately, those pesky things. But yeah, I forget how much just of a treat RTLS missions for Falcon are, and that was certainly no exception.
Yeah, but you just mentioned the VAB. Can you confirm that the VAB is still standing?
The VAB is still standing and looking to be in one piece.
That's great to hear. Relatively important.
Yeah, I
we
didn't
don't
know what
want
was
that
going on with
thing
that
going.
flame,
Yes,
folks.
That's
Sorry.
very true, yes.
Now we're getting some pictures.
So, for anyone who's just joined us after this launch, are you able to give a super brief summary of this mission, what we just experienced, and just give a super quick rundown if anybody just joined us?
Yeah, I mean, you see there, that's what we want to see, an empty launch pad, because that means it launched right on time, well, minus the 18-second delay from when they originally planned. Beautiful launch. The first and second stages separated. The second stage did whatever it's going to do because it was a National Reconnaissance Office payload, which means they don't tell us. It just does its thing, and we as taxpayers have to go, yay, we paid for whatever that is. But the...
Sorry about that, folks. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of this real quick. It's gone. All right. Sorry about that,
all the people on the Space Coast who might be trying to sleep at 3:23 a.m. Eastern. So, yeah, overall, that was pretty good.
Yeah, Max, you were even able to see some of that stage 2. How was that?
That was one of my shakier tracks that I've had in a while, but I guess I am still rusty because I haven't tracked a Falcon 9 in a while, let alone an RTLS. But I actually lost it in my track just after Miko, and I couldn't reacquire it for the actual Nebula. So apologies for that one. But had stage 2 in view for a while there, and then began to reorient the camera basically straight upwards, because that is normally where the entry burn is or appears above our heads. When the time comes, it's shockingly it looks like it's right above your head. Like that's how it's kind of alarming the first time you see it. And obviously it goes from above your head to just above the actual tree line in such a short period of time that honestly it's still tough to get your head around just how fast it goes from above your head to basically on the horizon. But yeah, that was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, to those who have seen a return to launch site, whether it be Super Heavy or Falcon 9, it looks like it's terrifying seeing this thing falling at between 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers per hour.
Well, folks, I hope that gives you some picture.
But before, just want to bring one thing before we get some replays for you guys. Sawyer, question for you, because you are the one and only shuttle guy.
They're going to get a replay.
You sure never said that shuttle. Question for you. Sawyer, is it from DJ WB417 asks Sawyer, is a shuttle puzzle called a shuzzle?
They have this question right here. Is a shuttle
it a
puzzle
puddle?
called a shuzzle?
It could be a puddle. But I do like guzzle.
Blasphemy.
Some people would
I
say
don't know. These are words apparently, but yeah. About that, yeah, that Endeavour launched for the last time though in I believe it was 2011, early 2011. But this one launched tonight, and I think Jay already has replays.
Oh, let's see them. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here are the replays, folks. Well, that's not a replay on the right. No,
you have some spectacular views there
this one
as
is
Falcon 9.
Distant.
I believe that's You'll Thank Me Later. Is that the barge?
That's it.
That's
Absolutely.
the barge, right? And you can see the light behind it, which is the launch pad.
Yeah, it's one of the more. Yeah, it's one of the more interesting things about Portland where it sits right now is that it completely blocks our view of Pad 40 from our fleet cams. But nonetheless, it is still a bit of a
wow.
It's an interesting site because obviously you have the current workhorse with Falcon launching behind it, and obviously SpaceX's future right in front of it in terms of what is going to be transporting Starship launch vehicles, at least initially, from Starbase to Florida. So a bit of the current and the past and the future in one frame there, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and if we're lucky, we're going to be seeing that transport the Super Heavy in it, hopefully shipped by the end of the year for a launch from the 39A launch pad.
We should definitely see vehicles here by the end of the year, but launching or not is the big
Look at this one, folks.
Alas.
See the bright light in the background? Look at that. That's it's too bad that they didn't get us right up there.
View. Actually, this was almost kind of like your view. This camera is from a similar location from yours.
Yep, this looks like one of our robotic cameras from here, right on what we call the hut here at the Kennedy Space Center press site. We have a fleet of RoboCams over here
but
at
folks,
KSC.
What bothers me is we had a great vantage point.
Yeah, it's always nice seeing it climb over the actual tree line there as a sort of man-made sunrise there, with the NASA symbol there in the foreground. Obviously here, this is quite literally the press site. This is where we gather for not all, but most actual media events, and obviously for launches.
By the way, I did leave a photo that maybe we'll be able to see before the end, but I do need to pack up here on the Spaceport side. Matt, it's been for a little bit longer as we enjoy more of these replays, but it's been a pleasure being with everyone for tonight's launch, and hope you enjoyed the show.
Abandoner.
Well,
I'm with the other Abandoner too. It's fine. I'm with you.
Hey, Sawyer, thank you for providing us some spectacular shots from the Space Force side. It was absolutely incredible to see this from your and Jerry's eyes. Thank you for joining us.
It's always a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to be here, and we never forget.
All right, but we still have Max with us today, who is located where this robotic camera is. We still have some more replays from our other cameras. Incredible seeing how Falcon 9 basically acts as an artificial sun, like a sunrise.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the byproducts of any rocket that burns Kerolox and or solid rocket boosters. Just that they burn incredibly bright. And that's in contrast to Starship or New Glenn or any other rocket that burns on methane or hydrogen. Even more so on that, because it burns basically translucent unless you are the RX-68 on Delta IV Heavy with an ablative nozzle and glowing orange. But yeah, RP-1 and or solid rocket boosters are always such a treat to see at night, because you really cannot miss it. I promise you. You cannot miss it.
Yeah, which makes me kind of excited to see what happens with Starship and Super Heavy when we inevitably get a nighttime launch, because that's Methalox and not Kerolox. But it's a big rocket. So
yeah, here you go.
And I believe this is Jerry's track.
That's the one. Look at that.
This is such a great perspective, honestly.
That's what I was looking for.
I have to give once again a shout out to the 45th Space Wing and them supporting media operations over on the Space Force side for tonight's mission. It is such a treat whenever they do, and they always give us the best views possible from their area. So thank you very much to the Space Force and the 45th Space Wing in particular. Audio.
Wow. Something else, folks. Well, folks, that concludes NASA's broadcast for us. You can see it's high in the air. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? Look at that. Wow.
Literally punching a hole in the clouds.
Wow,
yeah. That's nuts.
That's something else, folks.
That was incredible.
Right.
I think that's when Jerry hit one of the locks in his
Where it's
tripods.
going
That had to have
exactly,
been.
we don't know.
Because these things go very high. I mean, obviously,
And very fast.
But
Yes.
depending on how you have your tripod
That's where,
configured,
right there, folks. See where it
if you're
goes?
not prepared for it and you're not ready for
And I
how
wasn't.
high you actually have to aim your camera, you
And
might bump it
right
into the
there, I
actual
thought it
tilt
had
lock
blown
there.
up or something. I didn't know what was going on. I was wrong.
But yeah, look at
I was
this.
clearly wrong.
And
Just
the
right
way
now.
and the way the clouds are moving, it looks like Falcon 9's stationary there. Look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Crazy.
Completely stuck.
Crazy.
Yeah, literally.
Crazy.
And always one of my favorite parts is when you get close to
Well,
stage
wait, where's it
separation,
going?
you get
See,
that
it goes down
Carolux
like
blue
that.
fire, which
Where's
is
it going?
unlike anything else. It's spectacular.
That is
Yeah,
crazy.
it goes from obviously a very bright orange to a sort of darker orange to red to blue to purple, and then it just fades. Obviously, once they get to Miko, but yeah, the exhaust look at this. Now it's like a darker orange.
Right.
Now red,
Red.
and now it's
Now it's
transitioning
blue,
to
right.
like a blue. Like,
It's going.
look at
It's
this.
like it's going down. That's the thing. Why is it going
Then
down?
it goes to a greenish color
And
as
then it goes
it
out.
gets so high up that,
And then it stops.
and there is that cutoff.
Cut off. Cut off.
Oh, and I wonder who took this.
And
Oh,
that
I
is
don't-
wow.
I don't know.
Is that yeah, look at that.
I couldn't tell you.
My God.
Look
Incredible.
at that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a minute, folks, since I've worked a Falcon launch, and as spoiled as that may sound to say,
Wow.
it's been a very busy month, so kind of shaking off the rust with tracking Falcon again. But yeah,
That's
it's
okay, but-
this was a
but-
very
but-
very clear one tonight as well, so a
That's-
very
yeah.
good track.
So trying to stop that,
Sweet.
folks, doesn't let me stop that one. But folks, we've got
Oh, there it is.
yeah, there we go, folks. We've got a lot of great shots here, but you know what? Now it's getting to. We've seen that one before. Listen to how fast. Look how fast it's going. It's like 3,000 miles per hour, folks, and then faster. You probably get up to 10,000 miles per hour. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
The cons.
Yeah.
It's interesting how only a couple miles of difference makes
See how
the
see where
perspective of the launch.
it's
With,
angling, folks, and then it
Jerry's
turns.
looking almost
That's
stationary.
right.
Yours
It's like,
just-
what's going
it
on
looks
there?
like it's gunning it up in the sky.
Yeah.
Oh
sure
yeah, I
is.
mean that's all dependent on where you are and I guess
Right.
how the clouds
See,
are
it
moving
gets
as
up
well,
to the
right?
apogee, and then it's
but
kind
also,
of like
Jerry
tails
and
off.
Sawyer were basically
And it's
half
like, was
the
it coming
distance
down?
to the pad that I was tonight here at KFC.
See,
which is
it
why
levels
Space
off,
Force viewing is
and then
such
it looks
a
like
treat
it's
because
coming
you can
down,
get-
folks. Look, see
sometimes
that?
you can get super close.
Where is
about
it
as close
going?
as media really can get to a launch pad, which is amazing.
Maybe they're not allowed to say that it's
But at
crashing.
that point, obviously, because they're
Where is
more
it?
south
Look, it's
of the
going
launch pad,
down.
So the
Look.
rocket with the
See,
rocket
that is
flying
not
northeast,
explained. It is
the
going
rocket
down.
is more flying away from them, whereas from here we're more directly
Yeah, see
west
that?
of the launch pad. We had more of a side-on profile, so we get a better view of the rocket as
And
it
it looked like
ascends
the
from a
engine just
different
stopped.
perspective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
technically speaking, there's a point in time where you're closer to the rocket than they are.
Did it just burn out?
Technically,
Cool.
yeah.
Explaining things. I know that.
I never even.
I'm going to stop it here because I know this is a classified flight, but it looks to me like it reached its apogee, and then it somehow, it's because it's unmanned, it went in a different direction than was planned, and it's headed downward, and it looked like someone said, okay, shut the engines off and let it drop in the ocean. That's what it looks like to me. All right. How do I know? I don't know. It's classified. They're not going to tell us. Wow. I just hope that this didn't come down somewhere around Disney World, turn inward or something like that. They wouldn't tell us if it did, but we'll find out something later. All right, folks. Hey, thanks for watching the launch with me. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark Zenny62blog.com. That ends the broadcast. Something else. Thank you, NASA and SpaceX by Elon Musk. Thanks. Okay, I'm done. I was trying to make